Well, there's obviously still a lot of questions about Tom's son Ben, and sort of, he seems to have an affinity toward his former captors, and he doesn't seem to be altogether there anymore. And at some point, we're wondering, is he going to turn on his family and on his, on humans? So I assume we'll see more.
There's a really good mythology that extends over several seasons that is very rich in detail about all of this. So, we're all being really good not saying anything because it's a really good sort of, it's a good yarn.
How far has it been mapped out?
I was going to say those questions will be answered in season 7.
Well,
we'll see you at Comic-Con 2019.
You could probably answer. There is a trajectory. There is an arc.
No, we definitely talked about it, and Bob wrote a Bible that had all sorts of information about where we wanted to go. The great thing about his Bible is that it tells you where he wants to go, but there's a lot of flexibility on how you get there. And that was the fun of working on, even on season 1, was the flexibility we had in basically getting to where we get at the end of the season, playing around with all the stuff, all the toys we had.
And giving answers. I mean, literally, you will have answers by the end of this season, by end of episode 10. You will have answers about the Skitter. So it's not like you're going to have to wait and wait and wait. We're going to reveal things in episode 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get a lot of answers about the Skitters, why they're here, all that kind of stuff.
We had a question over here.
Oh, yeah, I feel kind of like a dick asking it, though. I kind of am a dick. And I'm here, for me, I'm a sci-fi actor, a sci-fi star, and a sci-fi fan. And I want to know who I should campaign for to get a meeting.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see these actors, and they always, skip shows. They do Star Trek. I was on Star Trek for a couple of years. And suddenly they pop into Stargate. And how do they do that? Do they have better agents than mine?
Well, Leslie Feldman is the head of casting for DreamWorks, so if you have an agent or a manager, just to have them get in contact with her, and we're putting together new casting directors for season 2 because we're moving to Vancouver, but we haven't hired them yet. We've identified.
You might want to move to Vancouver, apparently.
Yeah. That's actually a good one, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, in season 2, we actually have some really interesting things that come out with the kid fighters. So you're touching on things that are going to play out in season 2. So stay tuned.
It's the new kid series, Falling Skies Junior.
Yeah,
to Cartoon Network.
Yeah, the spinoff.
Yeah, exactly. Way back there.
Yeah, I'm wondering how the song "Many Rivers to Cross" made into that. Scene from the Harley Gum that echoes the action nicely in a very Dune sort of way. What's a 40-year-old movie? And a wonderful one, but I'm just wondering where that came from.
You want me to,
Yeah, you take it.
I'm only going to take it because Will's not here. When you shoot this sequence like that, you don't know what the music's going to be because you don't know what you can afford. Everybody's kicking around ideas of what they think it should be. The actor Will Patton, who I'm really sorry isn't here tonight because he's such an integral part of the show, and he's such a really well-spoken guy who cares incredibly deeply about his work and his craft, had a particular piece of music in mind that he felt he was wanting to react to, so he played that music when the sequence was shot. And then a song was chosen, and it was sort of an on-the-nose choice. It was one that is recognizable to a lot of people, and Will really didn't feel like it was right. And so, it's funny. There was a sequence in the pilot where I pick up 2 books and I choose one that weighs less. And we shot that sequence without showing what the books were. And everybody wanted to know what the book was. Like, sometimes these little details become huge plot points. So we went back and filmed the titles. And in that way, this was a major topic of conversation. I'll let you take the rest.
It was a major topic, and there are clues to what the original song actually was still in the show. which so I don't know if I want to mention the original song, but Many Rivers to Cross is great, and I'm glad we picked it because I think it's a very ethereal, great sounding song for that moment, and it feels very Weaver. So
But
I'm
it,
glad
and
we
it speaks
changed
to your question before about, how much do the actors get involved in their character, and for him that was a very, it was important song because it spoke to sort of his relationship with his wife and all that kind of stuff. So he really thought about it a lot and had a very strong opinion about it. And when we put the original song in, campaigned very hard to get that original song out and succeeded. So
I think they also tried the Humpty Hump, and it just didn't work at all.
Yeah.
That's the bad. That'll be on the DVD, right? All right. I think we have time for one more question. Yes.
Hi, okay, amazing, fascinating, and knowing you look for sure, no way can I conceive of you having a 20-year-old son.
He's 16, 17. Thank you.
My question is, I'm wondering what kind of responses you're getting male-wise, because to me, when you have this kind of notion of an alien, especially with dealing with America, dealing with foreigners and being at war, and the history of America, I was just, for many reasons, I wonder like how you guys as actors come. It seems like you've come to an unspoken agreement on who these aliens are, but I just wonder, since what your take on it is, what kind of responses have you been getting from like fans, or with regard to the aliens.
Repeat the question, please.
Yeah. The question was what type of response have we had to the episodes and some of the themes that we delve into. Well, maybe I can repeat it in I think science fiction works really, really, really well when it's metaphorical storytelling or allegorical storytelling. So I don't shy away from the fact that there's a huge political message in this. You could look at it as a historical allegory or a contemporary one, depending on your point of view. And I had the opportunity recently to go to Europe as this show was debuting in 75 countries, all roughly within the same night, which is also a really new thing. This became a global show really in 1 week. As opposed to the time delay you usually have to do. And getting the European perspective on this show, they thought it was really courageous. They thought we were basically showing great self-awareness by putting something this on the air.
Well, the moment where you guys compare, okay, so is it the Revolutionary War or is it the Europeans coming and destroying the Native Americans?
Mm-hmm.
That came on very early in the series, and it's something I think about almost every week when I'm watching the show, sort of, and we sort of are still learning what it's going to be. So, well, I think that does it. Thank you very much.